Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today we're going to be taking on Greg's by showing you how to make a cheese and onion bake and a bacon and cheese twist with a twist. So as we show you how to make it in that chair of yours, please, with a cup of tea in hand, putting your feet up to, sit back, relax and enjoy this episode. And do not forget to subscribe. Not too long ago, we showed you how to prepare and enjoy a Greg's bakery staple, namely the chicken bake. This time around, we'll be showing you how to prepare Greg's style cheese and onion bakes, as well as our own cheese and bacon twists, which, as you can see, were an absolute treat. So, with the introductions made and your interest peaking, allow me to introduce the ingredients to you. Depending on which one of the two pastries you make, you will need some onion, some bacon, flour, an egg, some butter, ideally homemade Brilliantly British butter. Follow the link up there to learn how. You will need some extra mature cheddar, some milk, some homemade Brilliantly British puff pastry. Ideally, if you don't have some on you, don't worry, follow the link up there to learn how. You'll also be needing, of course, some salt and some pepper, and that's it for the making of today's pastries. But before you get started, before you do anything at all, I say switch on your kettle, brew yourself a nice cup of hot tea so that you can sip on that whilst you bake. To start this pastry making extravaganza, start with the filling by melting a lump of butter, then into your pool of molten butter, mix in some flour to form a roux. With the roux made, incrementally add your cold milk, then gently heat up, mixing until it thickens and begins to bubble. Without forgetting a sprinkle or two of salt, and of course remembering to stay hydrated. I'll then go in with a touch of pepper, followed by some finely diced onion for texture and some of that punchy onion flavour. And at this point, cover your pan, place it to one side whilst we clear the area to begin prepping the pastry. On a clear floured work surface, divide your dough in half, placing one half in your fridge for now. Then roll out the other half, ensuring that it's long and wide enough for 4 bacon rashers. With the assurances taken care of, I'll trim off any excessive rough edges before moving into my fridge in order to repeat with the other half of pastry, also trimming off the excesses in order to match the first rolled out sheet. Following on, blanket one sheet with grated cheese, leaving a 1 centimeter thick perimeter at the top and bottom, then cover with rashers of bacon and another helping of grated cheese. Now would be the time to begin preheating your oven. And moving on, you'll then want to mark the positions between the rashers of bacon at both ends. Lightly brush with a beaten egg, top with a second sheet of pastry, mark once more at both ends, crimp with a fork, and then using the markings at each end as a guide, divide into 4. Off camera, I lined an oven tray with foil and baking paper, and on it placed one of my divisions before carefully twisting twice. Repeat the aforementioned steps for the 3 remaining strips, liberally egg washing afterwards. Perfect. You'll then want to slide the tray into the oven, allowing the pastry to bronze beautifully, then transferring them not long after onto a wire rack and allowing them to cool, whilst we turn to the cheese and onion pastries. Into the now cold, previously prepared filling, turn in grated cheese before placing to one side once more for later on. Then, on a well-floured surface, roll out your pastry before placing half in your fridge for later. You'll then want to roll out the remaining pastry, trim away all of the rough edges before repeating on your other half of pastry, yielding 2 identical sheets of pastry. After dusting my pastry sheets, I divided them into 4, separated them, egg washed the perimeter of 4 sheets, spooned on my cheese and onion filling before encasing and crimping the edges. In a flash, relocate your cheese and onion parcels onto a lined baking tray where you'll egg wash and, if you wish, decoratively score before beginning to bake in your oven. As for any leftover filling, we think this calls for some slices of beautiful Welsh rarebit, an episode we released not too long ago. When ready, your parcels will have bronzed with an amazing aroma. And so, with both batches made and a cup of tea at hand, I really do think it's time for tasting. All right, we have a batch of freshly baked pastries that already from appearance knock the socks off anything that comes out of Greg's bakery. So first things first, we're going to go for the cheese and onion bakes, and this time around we're going to be trying it with our Brilliantly British pickle. If you've done your homework, which means if you viewed and followed the recipe, you will know why there's a link up there. But anyway, without much further ado, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, all I have to say is that there is flavor in this. I mean, it really does pack a punch. You've got the onion in there, which still is a bit crunchy. There's texture. You've got that really strong aromatic flavor as well with the onion in combination with the really strong cheddar. It's a classic combination to the British palate. Beautiful. And then when you counteract that with sweet, sour, sharp, homemade chutney, the kind of stuff that you ought to have always in your fridge or cupboard, it's beautiful. Really, it is. Now, without much further ado, let's move on. Let me explain how good the bacon and cheese twists, helix, whatever you want to call it. We're going to try that now with our homemade tomato chutney, which as well, if you've done your homework, if you've followed our episodes, then you will have some in your cupboards or your fridge to try with these. So, without much further ado, 3, 2, 1. Oh, all right, that's gone down beautifully. All I can say is bacon, cheese, classic combination that will never ever disappoint. And then with tomato, oh, you've just elevated it to another level. Crispy pastry as well has been wrapped around this. It's great. It's really simple. You saw how simple the ingredients were. My friends, my dear viewers, look, as you watch after this episode, make the decision to go out, get the ingredients, make these pastries for yourselves, friends, loved ones, whoever, whenever, as often as possible, because please, I assure you, it will be absolutely worth it. Please, make these pastries. Thank you all for allowing me to show you how to make a cheese and onion bake and a cheese and bacon twist. Knowing that you loved this episode, don't forget to click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button so that you don't miss any of our new releases. Tell everyone you know, and I mean everyone that you know, about the Brilliantly British food on this channel, and follow us on all of the social media platforms that this channel is on, and I will see you next time.